Hello and welcome to a video by one man and his bonsai.co.uk. This video is about seed propagation, specifically for bonsai trees. What will be required for this, depending on where you got your seed or who you got your seed or when you collected your seed, can vary. I've actually bought these seeds from eBay and I will have to propagate them and potentially cold stratify them myself. So what I'm going to do is split the seeds 50-50 and essentially sow 50% of them now and put 50% of them in the fridge, and if I get some growth from the ones that I've planted, then I can take the ones out from the fridge and also plant them. Now there are many varied options here for doing this, but the one I'm using today will be planting into vermiculite in a small 7cm pot. As you can see there, it's just a cheap plastic one. What you'll really need is a stack of these. I tend to like to throw in some broken terracotta or crocks at the bottom. Once you settle to go, I tend to use a seed tray with a seed cell insert, and then the pots themselves go into that just to keep them stable, and if I need to move them about I can use them in the seed tray. On top of that you'll need some vermiculite. This stuff comes from Wilkinson's. It's fairly cheap for a bag, a lot cheaper than the stuff that you'll find on eBay or Amazon for example, but that tends to be pre-sifted, so it'll be down into size grades, so you'll get a varied amount with this bag, and the granules themselves vary in size. The stuff that you tend to buy online that's more expensive has all been pre-sifted, so you'll have either bigger chunks like that or down to the much finer grades that come in the bag. Which way you go with that is obviously down to you, it's your choice. I tend to like a mixed grade, so I stick with the 10 litre cheap bags, and if I need to sift it myself then I have my own bonsai sift or sieve, which will basically filter out the smaller particles and leave you with a variation of particle size. On top of that you'll need your seeds. Now these have been pre-soaked as the instructions that they came with stated, and these are elegant maple, and they've been in that bag soaking for 2 days, which is, again, I'm following the instructions that came with them. And what I will do is drain that bag. I will pick out 5 seeds, plant them and put the rest in the fridge to stratify. So the principle is fairly simple. You take your pot, throw in some terracotta, and then add your vermiculite. Very simple, very straightforward. Give it a tap down, let some of it filter out the bottom and get rid of the dust. We pop that in the tray and put that to the side. And as I said, I tend to pop these in the seed tray for stability. So I can bring that across. I'll have to apologise, sorry for the background noise. It's a fairly windy and showery day today, so the polytunnel obviously does make a fair racket once it gets up. There's not a lot I can really do about that, so I do apologise. Now the next stage we've got to do is separate the seeds. So again, what we do is we open the little baggie carefully and then we again carefully allow the water to drain out. And now comes the fiddly bit, because what we're going to do is we're actually going to keep the bag with the remaining seeds that we don't plant and fill it with vermiculite again and put that in the fridge. So what I need next is some tweezers, and we're looking for 5 seeds. 2, 3, 4. And there we go, there's 5. Oh, tell a lie. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put that one back there for now. The reason we use vermiculite is because it doesn't generally contain any bacteria or any type of substrate other than what it is, so it's quite a good propagating substrate. And essentially all we do now is put one seed into each little 7cm pot. Like so. Oh, another seed there as well, so that's a double planting. So I'll take that one back out and put that one there too. Just quickly pop them into the bag. I'll come back to that in a second. As you can see, we have our seeds now in the vermiculite with the pot. And what I tend to do is just push it down a little bit, cover over with some vermiculite. And then the next thing we need to do is add some water. Basically you don't want to soak these too much, because another reason we use the vermiculite is to help with the issue of damping off with seeds where they basically rot instead of germinate. But we need to give them a little bit of a drink first to get the moisture into the vermiculite. Go. Now, if you plant a lot of these like I tend to do, it really does help if you label your seeds so you know what is what within the trays, and put the name, and then on the back of the label we will put the date that were planted, so we know when we planted them and we can keep checking for signs of any growth or germination. And I tend to keep a log of what I've planted so I know. And into the pot that goes. Now I know I've planted these out in groups of 5, so I will get 3 different versions of seeds in each tray. And because of the way that I've done it, I know the ones in the middle are obviously the 5 there. Now what we do with the rest of the seed is, again, just move that there, get the vermiculite again, a little bonsai scoop, and fill the baggie. Give it a little shake to settle the seeds into it a little bit better so they don't stick in the corners. Try and give them a little bit of a coating. There we go. And again, need to put some moisture into these, so give it a squirt. Try and remove as much of the air as possible for now. Now, the next stage of this, for this packet, will be to go into the fridge to join the seeds that I did yesterday, and depending on which type of seeds it is, depends on how long it stays in the fridge. But as I mentioned previously, if they start to show signs of growth from the ones I planted, I'll take these out of the fridge and do exactly the same again with those, so we then try and propagate them as well. This can be quite a time-consuming thing because they can take several months to stratify inside the fridge, and you have to keep checking that the bag is still moist. It doesn't need to be wet, it has to just be moist, and basically open it up every now and then, a little bit of air into it, give it a little bit of a move around just to see if there's anything growing, and also make sure that the seeds are still covered. And with any luck, within a few months you'll hopefully see some signs of growth there. But again, I'll be hoping that these ones that I've potted today will actually propagate there themselves. Just as an example to show you, I got some other seeds recently from a different supplier that I was assuming were already cold stratified. So if we move over here, we can see, hopefully, these are Larix decidua, I think it's European larch, and as you can see there's quite a few little seedlings starting to kick up. Now these were planted on the 17th of last month, so within a few weeks we've already got to this stage, and hopefully they will continue to grow. Now the observant ones amongst you will notice that these were actually planted into sand. Unfortunately this time round I didn't have any sand left due to other garden projects, but vermiculite or sand works just as well. Just see there, quite a nice little crop of larch trees in the making. Hopefully one day they will grow into specimens a little bit healthier than these. These are just in here at the moment to recuperate from a rather nasty winter. But hopefully in time to come, we'll just go for a little walk into the garden. I'll tell you off, excuse the mess because it is a working project. It will hopefully grow into something like that. This is a much more mature version of the larch seeds that you've just seen turned into seedlings, and with any luck we'll have to move them into a bigger pot like that one day. So I hope that was of some use to you, and there will be more videos about this subject hopefully coming up in the future, and follow-ups of the progression of the seeds that I've planted today if they take. I hope that was of use. Again, as I said, with any luck we'll have some results soon. Thanks very much for watching, and this was the seed propagation technique video 1 from onemanandhisbonsai.co.uk. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.